Tune fia filosofa manu malo Yesu Keriso, el tatou maftanga, e la tau o lo mau mai tatou whasalalonga po fia lava vaenga o lalolangi o lo e mau mai tatou maftanga ne fia fata alofa tu sofa manu malo Yesu Keriso. Malo se fo manuia, whaftai o monia vanoa tatou whelo iai. We'd like to welcome those that are tuning in from around the world. We welcome you to our broadcast tonight. Hope that you will enjoy your evening and pray that the Lord will touch you through this message. Ole afiafine, I want to share on the topic of the winning attitude. Mo winga manu malo, the winning attitude. You see, attitude is everything. Ole mene o winga manu malo tangata o se vaenga taunga tele leo lango tangata. Attitude is everything. Winston Churchill, British Prime Minister from 1940 to 1945, this is what he said about attitude. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. Maltala Malo or Winston Churchill. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. O mo winga manu malo o se mela ititi lava e me fai ona fai se swinga tele. It's very interesting to note that that an aeroplane has a thing called the attitude indicator. And in an aircraft, there is a thing called an attitude indicator. I remember one time I was sitting in the cockpit next to Eti Laulala when he was flying Polynesian airline. I was invited to sit there just on the side of the pilot, Eti Laulala. And I was watching this, and I asked Eti what that was, and he said that is called the attitude indicator of the aircraft. It tells the pilot whether the plane is flying properly or nosedive or upwards or sideways. What's very interesting to note, ole attitude indicator lo le valele. It determines po ole leile anu le valele. But there's a thing called an attitude indicator. It determines the way the plane flies. And the attitude indicator will tell the pilot whether the plane is nosediving or going up or sideways. Ole manual attitude, o se vaenga ta unga te lilo langal tangata, and especially if you have a winning attitude. But if you have a very bad attitude and a losing attitude, then you are in trouble. Attitude is a complex mental state involving beliefs, your feelings and your values and your dispositions to act in certain ways. You see, manual attitude, it's a complex mental state. E involve o talitonunga o langona o mea tāua ia te oe ia ma mea fo ele o sa o le mea lea te tūai. Ma fo anga fo ele ana ele ona ese wingo tangata. A person with a winning attitude is smiling all the time, very friendly and easy to approach and very attractive. But a person with a losing attitude is always failing and going backwards. The winning attitude is one quality that determines whether you're going to fail or you're going to succeed. It is a very important part of any person's life. In the Bible, there is a story in the Bible which I will illustrate some of the principles. Mani ma mea fo o lo fa metala ile tala le tonu tuspa ia le taunga telo le melo le winning attitude. It is your decision that you make whether you're going to change your attitude to a winning attitude or a losing attitude. Si o tō tēla isi tangata o le leanga i o lako attitude. o la to winga fa'alia. But I tell you, anybody who has good attitude, very positive person, always wanted to make things happen, will determine whether you're going to have a nice tomorrow or you're going to have a very bad tomorrow. So in 1 Samuel 17, I'm going to illustrate some of the principles on the winning attitude. Le mumu SAMUELU, le mtau pusu fitu, fai upe fai, le valu fa mole Muava'a.
O nā wana lea o le toa nai tongala wapi a Filistia. O Goliath rona ingoa, mai kata, rona maua runga e ono ku pita ma le anga e tasi. Sei rona uru puro apa me mea, sa ofu o fatafata, fauna ia. Le mamafa rona ufu fatafata, wa lima ngafe o se kedi, apa me mea. Sa fai foi ufi vai apa me mea i ona vai, ma le tau apa me mea i ona vai tau au. O le fuata rona tau, e pēro la au wha lava, o le langa ie, o le mata tau o rona tau, e ono ngā lau ke keri, ua mea, ua mumu atu i ona luma, le na awe le tali puni.
See, winning attitude kills giants. The winning attitude kills giants. Ole attitude manu malo tangata e fasio tia isa wai. And I tell you, all of us have got some sort of giants in our lives. Things that are standing in our way, things that scares you, things that will stop you from moving forward. I'll tell the story of David and Goliath, and according to the story, there was this huge giant who was standing in the way of the Israelis from moving forward. And in fact, there was Saul there was Aminadab, there was Eliab, there was David's older brothers. And according to the story, all they were doing is they were stagnant in the same place. But David had a very different attitude. See, according to the Bible, Goliath was a strong demon that scares people by its size and its voice. O te leo tino tangata lea, malona leo, e whiwhiwhi ka haka. Ka rewa me tala tusi pa ia, le whai upo e whasuru ono, e lima suma tasi whafonga la ile.
Raso lea tu ina mai oe le ri i o lima. O te whasi ati oe. Mavi ese ro uru. O te foi atu foi i tino oti. O awa Filistia i rene yaso i manwhe le lei. Ma manwhe ai e ta. E loe larangi uma. O iai le tua ia Israel.
So here's what we need to understand.
David was facing this massive giant. But many people were actually scared. All the Israelis, or Saul and the Israeli army were so scared because this massive, huge giant was standing in their way. I've that David possessed his winning attitude. His attitude was to kill and remove this giant. And I tell you, anybody who hasn't got the winning attitude will run away. But David, with the winning attitude, look at the giant, and according to David, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to remove you, I'm going to get you out of the way. So, but David was the person with a different attitude, a winning attitude, an attitude of moving forward and removing that giant and killing that giant so that everybody can move forward. I tell you, in one way or another, to tell you tangata who are very capable, stronger than they think, but they have a losing attitude. They don't have the winning attitude like David had. Today, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to remove you. Because I tell you, every day we're faced with giants. And these giants stop us from moving forward. O le tāua la ia o le mene o le winning attitude. And I tell you, o lesi lea vaenga tāua le o langa le tangata. Determine whether you are going to have a nice tomorrow or we're going to stay in the same place and cannot move forward. The winning attitude kills giants. Number 2, the winning attitude is faith in God and not fear. The winning attitude is your faith in God and not fear. See, ole many of the winning attitude will certainly put faith in your heart. See, fear stops people from moving forward. To tell tangata wa avele many of the 50 me o finga tai no luma. And I tell you, when you have fear in your life, fear paralyzes people. Fear stops you from succeeding in life. A winning attitude will put faith in your heart. See, faith gives you a can-do attitude. I'm a vulnerable man because you have this attitude in your heart called the winning attitude. Fai upo e fasu mal valu lima tasiva mole Muava'a.
What you like this deal? What one? O fala talata e fafta ya tavita. On fafta rise leo tavita. O mo ya tu le tu taua fafta ya i Filistia. Tango I foleo tavita le atu. Wa vai ai se maa. Ma sau e ia le mata. Ora ver Filistia I lono Muava'a. O ngoto le maa I lono Muava'a.
You see, a winning attitude will certainly put faith in your heart and not fear. And I tell you, faith will stir up your abilities. Faith will enable you. I say winning attitude. I tell you, you will freeze and paralyze you. When you look at this massive obstacle in your way, you start to tell me from moving forward. Or the fifth or kakoa mafo from where you fit and we find that we cannot move forward. But the winning attitude will put faith in your heart and will allow you to do the things that you never thought you can do. Winning attitude is everything in anybody's life. As that way, ole winning attitude le e kuo le tu ole fatu tu ole lo to e ma faia mea e ki fa pe o ki le venga faia. It's amazing what people that have achieved a lot. And some people might think, well, you know, they must be special or they must have got special talents but I tell you what, everybody is capable of doing anything. I always say this. If I utala ula fa apa matu wo ke kapolo. I always say this. I said, nothing is impossible. I want to get a birdie. Nothing is impossible. You see, that's the attitude. And I tell you, if you have this attitude called the winning attitude, it would put faith in your heart that will enable you to discover the things that you never thought you could do. Number 3, the winning attitude gets paid. You see, the winning attitude will pay you wealth.
Ko si da vita tangata na tutu fa tasi mai. Ua fa pea. Se se me avatu mar tangata na te fasia le Filistia. E ngoto ifo e fai a Israelu. Wa po ai le Filistia le peltomina. Na se fai ai au o le tua soifua.
Fai o pura lufu lima o mon.
O fai ana le tangata o Israelu. O toro ele ne tangata wa. Bawa rua e ia e whai a Israel. O tangata fo ina te whasioti a te ia. Whaatama o ainga o ia i upu i oa e tele. E vatu fo i rona whine e whai mana a wā. E whasa aroto ina fo i o ia e a ainga o ronta mao Israel.
Ja.
Og det var palangila la sa we of exempt from tax. So ole mele na tupu, this is what happened. David arrived at where Goliath was and the army of Israelis, and they were facing each other, and the Israelites were so scared of this massive giant. Ang alaku o ka vika ku makilo o fai mai lo maletala ta visita vita le sialina. Ole alto tongol tanga te mo ke fasio kia le sa waile. See, you know, he wouldn't kill this Goliath without getting paid. Olana fesili lale, ole ale to tongol tangata na te fasiotia le Goliath. Yeah, if I metala let's live a matu ya te oe, you will get great riches. You will exempt, your family will exempt from paying tax. And whoever kills Goliath will also get a wife, a daughter of the king. Now, afonga mai ava pe o ele te afonga mai o ngale e ke mga ole winning attitude anga u failu kolua. Ele failan ko Moses yo kolua al pawanga ka o viele kolua nga wa. But the winning attitude will pay you a lot. I tell you, this is not something small. This is massive. So se tangata yele le winga le manu malo, called the winning attitude. You will get paid for possessing the winning attitude. I tell you, le kala lenga kusi pa ia ya kavika. It was a story that must inspire us, or at least inspires us to do a lot, and so that you can get so much. It's called the winning attitude. That's exactly what David got. After killing Goliath, he got the pay, he got the wife, his family was being exempt from paying tax. Al chalu elis kama imele pe au ina fa manuele tu al tangata ile mele o the winning attitude. It is important, and I will encourage you to adopt this winning attitude. Number 4. Loser attitude cannot show a person with the winning attitude how to kill Goliath or how to kill a giant. So let me explain. Losing attitude. You cannot show a person with the winning attitude how to kill Goliath. If you have a losing attitude, there's no way you're going to show a person with the winning attitude how to kill a Goliath. Yeah, that's why I tell you, verse 38 to 39.
Ona fa ofu e so ya ta pizza yo no ofu. Fa puro wino no ofu le puro apa me mea. Fa ofu ya te ro fata o mea. O fu se ta vita na peru runga ono ofu. Ona fa ta ita ile e ia ona alu. Wana ia le masani ai. Fa ya tu le ta vita ya sauru. O te le mfaia. Ona alu ana lea o ia ile mea. Wa o te le masani ai.
Ja.
All Saul was doing was hiding. When Goliath came out and called out to the Israelites, Saul hid. He had no idea, he did not know how to kill Goliath. But now David said, I'm going to kill Goliath. But now Saul is trying to show David how to kill Goliath. Funny, very funny. It's quite fancy that you don't know how to kill Goliath, and now you're trying to show somebody who has a winning attitude, who was willing to kill Goliath. Yeah, this is how you're going to do it. But David said, I'm not used to your way. I'm not used to these ways. I don't know, I cannot go like this to kill Goliath. Me mariela ele ma faini awala faletino na fasioti Goliath. Ele me fai se malo se tangata. Ele me fai i awala fa'altino. This is a spiritual thing. And I tell you, ole mele te tell no, see, Goliath is a demon. It's a demon that comes and scares people. Ale aim o ngake mongi is to stop you from moving forward, to stop you from succeeding in life, to stop you from getting what God had intended for you. Yeah. But my little fai po fast food family.
O ia ave lona to lona lima. Mo fili ala mo le lima mai le alia. O fawa foi le ato le ma mo sa ia te ia. O tanga foi lea. Vale ma tai lona lima. Ona fala tarata atu le o ia fili.
Yeah, my little.
Look, you know, Saul, I can't use your ways. So, but here's what I'm going to use, the winning attitude. This is what David did. Now, the rod is a symbol of direction and leadership. See, in the Bible, stone symbolize Jesus Christ. The cornerstone, the rock, the petra, the petros. But my land of Filipina, ia ma'e lima. Ia o famalta tu ngoi ko lima ia ko ia kamo ngauso. Nga Filipina ka vika ma'e lima ko for kan kamale ma. Yeah, I don't know. The Bible it's pretty silent on that. But you know, I'm happy to say that Goliath has had brothers, and David chose 5 stones to kill each one of them. You know, to our mind, this is very simple, very primitive weapons. But I tell you, what determines our winning is not really what weapons we have in our hands. What determines the winning is what we have in our attitude. Whether you have the attitude of faith in God and trusting Him, and whether you have the attitude of choosing God's way to deal with Goliath. I want to, if you ever think that you're going to deal with Goliath using Saul's way, you are in trouble. And I tell you, but they are very able, they are very capable, but you like poloka ele anganga le o koriaka. Le anganga le fa fefe ganga, but don't try this, you know. If you try this and fail, people will laugh at you. You know, don't move forward, you know. Something happens and you won't be able to survive. Ole kele yo kangaka le ngofo ya le mele, and yet God had already planned something big for you. Ya mai le mena tupu. Malole ta vita il fasul male fai po fasul male ya.
Ona talia to le ta vita il listia. O sa ia tau male peru, male tau leo. O cha watu ya ti o le swafo le li o au. O le tua le tu tau a Israel. O e fai ye.
Yeah, malala ta vita. Look, you know, it is how we at umara pelu mala tau ai o te watu ya to swafa. There you are. See, when I say the winning attitude, I'm not saying that you should have it from your own self. No, the winning attitude is the attitude of God. It is the attitude that comes from the Holy Ghost. It's the attitude that is from God, that allows you to win your battles. It allows you to move forward in life. It allows you to conquer. If I tell it, if I mental it, but I will come against you in the name of the Lord. See, this is one of the most powerful things. Winning attitude. But they depend on God. Because I tell you what, with you and God, anything is possible, man. Anything is possible. Yeah. And the winning attitude, that is from God who stirs up his faith. Now here's a result.
O Tama i foi la ta vicha na atu. Wa vai hei se maa. Wa sau e ia na mata. Wa na veri Filistia i lono Muava'a. Wa ngoto na maa i lono Muava'a. O na pa ufao ai le o ia i le.
Vai lá ele me tupu ele sengo Goliath ma Davita. Now, okay, la tangata e fela to tala ele. But I tell you what, I read this story, and something happened in my heart. And look if I kau ko ele tala le. And I'm thinking, what an attitude this man had. David had the attitude called the winning attitude. There's no way that David was going to lose the battle. He did not look at his abilities. He did not look at the weapons he had. He did not look at anything else but God. He said, you come with me, you come against me with your spear and whatnot, but I will come against you in the name of the Lord. See, on a winning attitude there that puts something in your heart called faith that stirs up your abilities. Yeah, fai upura lima tasi wa mole.
Ko marota vicha i Filistia i mata malba. Wana fasi i Filistia. Mochi ai de se pelu de limo.
See, that's what happens to someone who's got the winning attitude, who depends on God to give him the victory. Ele vai metela tu spaia, vai ele ai se pelu na ilona lima, ai palasi Goliath. And jalo it's not by might nor by power, but by the Spirit of the Lord. Ole taua i ole mele, awai o tele o fetu ne fa pe ke la kunge e ai aku ya Goliath piskanga hui. No. This is the Goliath are all the challenges that are humongous. To you, there's no way you're going to be able to conquer. Ole kele lau kanga kai e kufu nga kai malanga Goliath. And I tell you, it's real because it's a spiritual thing. Al Goliath ko ele tu luma tangata. Le was stagnant ai kanga ko ole mo fa ngo luma. They are afraid to try, they are afraid to do something, they are afraid to conquer, they are afraid to move forward. Yonga keke ya le oli kanga ka. Ai vai fa se furu waso. All Saul and the Israelites army did in 40 days was hiding. They were hiding because they were scared. And I tell you, all you would do in life is being scared. All you do is hide. You don't want to try, you don't want to conquer, you don't want to. But I tell you, many people, and 99.9% of people are so able and very capable. But because your attitude is a loser attitude, that's the reason why you have been so stagnant. But God wanted all of us to move forward and claim all the blessings that have been prepared for us by God. Number 5, winning attitude makes people move forward. Yeah, lima lua. There's.
Wana moya to leo ta vita. O tu lunga Filistia. O tango na Peru. To wa ina no fa boenga. O fa si o tsere ya tseia. O vai ai no ubu. Wa ya tu Filistia. O tsi la tu toa. O so lai lea o ila to. Ya, o tu leo tanga te so la e ko ito. O so lo vi o tu loya Filistia o atu le vanu. O atu foi pui o te kona. Na pa u e o man nu a Filistia. Ilera sarima. Wo I kata. Wo I kero.
I la tole me the tupu. David killed Goliath, and as soon as when Goliath fell, the people of Israel who had been hiding for 40 days, they got up and they ran forward. I tell you what, unless you slay the Goliath in your life, you will spend the rest of your life hiding. Because the story tells me that as soon as when David David walked to the battle line, and all the Israelites were doing, they were hiding. They were not being able to move forward. For 40 days, they were in the same place. David walked in and killed Goliath, and as soon as when Goliath fell, all the Israelites moved forward. And I tell you, you'll never be able to move forward until you slay the Goliath that is stopping you from moving forward. I've learned in life that fear is one of the most damaging thing that stops your success. Te whātia te oe, o le ke mongi lea kū mai o, le e kawhia fia ngai oe lo walu. Koriaka. And I will encourage you to kill that Goliath, because if you don't deal with that demon is going to stop you, and you will go to your grave with all your talents that have never been used, never been put into action. Ko kelo kako e kele ka lengi wa mai le tu atato. E mawhai e nga e alwe whaise mea. E mawhai o ne move forward ma manuia lo ainga. Ma manuia lo wala. But because Goliath is standing in the way. And I tell you, for me as a father, I'm thinking that if I don't kill my Goliath, my family will stay in the same place. My job as a father is to kill my Goliath so that my children will move forward. If I don't kill Goliath, we will still be in the same place. O le kala lea na kusia hua le kala lea, e ka umea kako. A ele e whapa uunga le loko lia ka. E ngongo foi al ko a inga le mea le will live and ka move forward. So when Goliath fell, all the people, and the Israelites moved forward to claim victory. And I tell you, it only takes one person to remove the Goliath that will stir the people to move forward. I tell you, that is the heart of God, to see the people succeeding in life and moving forward. Number 6, a winning attitude brings prosperity. Well, whaafafonga lao tō le mele, vai upo lima su tōnu lima whaafa mole mawa.
Fo ya tu farau nga Israelu sa tu tatao ya Filistia. Ona la tu vetea ai leo tonga la wapi. Wa vele ta vita le o Filistia. Wa mai Jerusalema. Wa ana me umma na tu e ia no na fale ie.
Ja,
Avongala to le melen tupu. Machala tu spa ia. Mai na o fo I mai o tangata o Israelu o mai lo ala mai tono fale ia o le au Filistia wow ma mai la to oloa. Now here's the truth. Winning attitude will bring so much prosperity in your hand. And I tell you, the winning attitude will allow you to move forward and do the things that you never thought you could do. And in doing so, it will put a lot of wealth into your hands. I have a testimony, and I have to be very careful here, because I'm saying that I know I never thought I could be a business person. I never thought I could do this, but I was scared because I had no experience. I was scared, and most of the time I was afraid to try. But I found that trying and having this attitude in your heart from God, your faith in God, trusting Him, that you are able to do things. All of a sudden, I discover the things I never knew I could do. See, the winning attitude will put faith in your heart to try. Because I tell you what, oi ngai loa por ngai ki ngofo oi se tangata e mawhai ona e alu e whai se si mea makaukia po se pisingisi po le ala po se si mea. Who knows? Because this Goliath is standing in the way and it's making you so scared. And you're telling yourself, if I try and fail, people will laugh at me. Look, I tell you what, if you try and fail, it's better to try than to have never tried. If you try and fail, well, you've got another chance to try it again. The winning attitude will really lead you somewhere where you are going to discover that there are other abilities in your life that God has graced you with, so that you can do a lot. Yeah, if I may, palasi lalo Goliath, Goliath. Oh my Lord, how my Lord, they had so much plunder. See, the winning attitude will put wealth in your hands, and don't be scared to try. I tell you, to take a step of faith, and the rest, God will do it for you. But if you are scared and stay in the same place and never move forward, you will be in that same place for the rest of your life. And number 7 and the last, the winning attitude will bring recognition to your family and to your father. Mainly recognition is not something small. Recognition is massive. Mai o le aso lea o le a tufai fai longa i le langi. E kufai makakou pale. Nga kia ora wape o le mengi o le recognition wape o se mea la ikiki. O le mako ike le lava. E iei le aso whapitoa. La uta pena i le atua le langi. Whai mai e fai e kufanga pale. It's a day of recognition. That's when the Lord will recognize you for what you have done in your life. You remember the story, the parable of the talents. That God gave one person 5 talents. God gave another one 2, and another one 1. Now the 5 went out and worked and put all these talents and put all this gifting into work. The one with 2 also, and another 2. The one with 1 did nothing about it because he was so scared. But I tell you, the one with 5 went out, no fear, winning attitude, put all his gifting and talents into work, and he got 5 more. The day go the recognition, and I tell you, all the recognition
Ro foi vita na fasi. Na vere e o apineru. Mo moria te ia I lumo sauru. O le uru foi o Filistia I luna lima. O foi atu o sauru ia te ia. La tari e oe oi. O foi atu vita. Wa au ora tari ora o no yese petire.
Ya, ma vale.
Usala la kulo ia sili mai sau. O hai ri so kama. Ava maltala ta vita o lo kama yese. Selma o le faia ingo o e ni so kama ya ka o mari lo kama o fia la vasio kama. Io ala o la lui foi le ia to ava penga ka o vale lo kama ya o ia ka un swing. Alu ia fi se me ka le lo kama. Ia fisili o ke o fi se me ka kia. O fisili kan o e ni se kama o sa kali o le ave ma je o le akali o loi. Ia wa vai o le manga ia. Ai ava pe o ni so kama se o ka vale lo kama ya o. Na tell many of the winning attitude, when you have the winning attitude, recognition comes to you. But one of the most amazing thing in the recognition that is saying in this story was the recognition of the man who raised you, who happened to be your father. It is always a joy to do something better that people will begin to recognize your father and yourself also. Wal talalia ele o la wai loa e fo e Saulo o le na te fie loa po se akali o il tangatalia. Because I tell you what happens to this kid was really the indication of the guy, of the man who raised his man. Now, Jesse obviously raised up a champion. His name was David. But what David had was not in other brothers. Now, the Bible says that David was the youngest of the family. But this man had a different attitude. That was very interesting. Now, noticing that my Eliab, Aminadab, and Shammah went with Saul, and they learned how to fight from Saul. But David learned how to fight by facing wild animals. So he was at the field looking after the sheep. The lion came and David killed the lion with his hand. The bear came but you know what? In the wilderness, David learned how to have the winning attitude. He went against the animals, the fierce animals. He has fought his own battles and he won them all. That's where David learned how to have the winning attitude. And I tell you, it is a place where God allows you to go through stuff. How to win battles. You learn how to win battles by facing wild animals. And I tell you, maybe God is learning. Maybe God is teaching you. Maybe God is teaching you to have this winning attitude. Facing wild animals. If you're facing wild animals right at this point in time, you never know that maybe God is training you and tuning you and fine-tuning you to have this winning attitude. That the next time that Goliath stands in your way, it will be just a piece of cake. You'll just slay the Goliath and you will move forward. And you're going to have an amazing tomorrow. And God bless you for hearing tonight. Amen.